What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, guys. Appreciate y'all being here, man. 7-game slate tonight. Hopefully, tonight's slate is not as crazy as last night. I said it to the guys in the Patreon stream, like last night's slate might have been like the highest scoring slate I've ever seen. I had my DK lineup put up 381, and I still didn't cash in like the $100 single entry. I cashed in everything else though, but I didn't cash in the $100 single entry with a 381. And then on Yahoo, my Yahoo lineup had a really good night on Yahoo. I put up over 400 on Yahoo. First time I don't think I've ever had a score that high. It was just a crazy slate. Like so much of the chalk smashed last night that it was going to be, a high scoring slate. And when we get late in the season like this, when you get late in the regular season, you get all this value every night, guys resting. You're going to have high scoring slates. There might be slates, we still got like a week and a half left in the regular season. There might be a slate soon where you need 400 to cash just because there's going to be 3K guys that are going to have to play huge minutes just because of how the NBA works. When you get late in the season like this, teams just don't care. They're going to rest players, which, we're going to see these young guys that are super cheap. They're going to be forced to play big minutes like every night. So we're going to have some high scoring slates moving forward. I don't know if this slate's going to be that crazy just because the value today is not as immense, but there's still some good options. We'll talk about some value that I like. But yeah, guys, appreciate you being here. See a lot of the members in chat. Chris, Willie, Patrick, Dee, what's up, guys? Appreciate you being here, man. If you got any questions on tonight's slate, just go ahead and throw them in the chat for the next 30, 45 minutes. We'll just talk through this slate, answer all your questions, and break down everything. Where's our value at tonight? I still like Charlotte. I think Charlotte's a team we can look to for value. I still think Caleb Martin's a really good value play, 3,900. He started last game, played 34 minutes. Probably is going to start again, I would assume. P.J. Washington is back, but P.J. Washington, obviously, that's not going to really affect Caleb Martin. With Cody Martin out, with Miles Bridges out, I'm assuming we get Caleb Martin starting, playing 30-plus minutes, super cheap. Still like him a lot for value. Still think Jalen McDaniels, 5,100, another guy that's just going to be forced into big minutes. No Gordon Hayward, no Miles Bridges. He's going to have to play 35, close to 40 minutes. He's still affordable. So those are the two guys I'm really looking to. Detroit's a team that could really be shorthanded today. We did get word that Killian Hayes is now questionable, and Corey Joseph is questionable now. Corey Joseph was initially out, but now he's questionable. My best guess that if Killian Hayes plays, that Corey Joseph will be out. But I would assume that if Killian Hayes is out, then they probably have to play Corey Joseph just because this Detroit team, I think right now, they literally have like 8 bodies. They're super thin. So this is a team we can also look to for value. Frank Jackson, I mentioned him in my video last night. Still like him for value. I'm assuming that he starts in place of Hamidou Diallo, probably plays anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes. Very affordable. I do like him for value as well. So that's kind of where I'm looking to for value right now. My man Kushlash, $50 super chat. Jesus Christ, man. I appreciate that, dude. Took down the 15K fadeaway last night. Keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate your help. Hey, Kushlash, I saw you had a really good night last night, man. Thank you for the super chat. You don't have to do that, but huge thank you. I appreciate that, man. I think you might be the top donator. I don't think anyone's donated $50 before, so thank you, Kushlash. Thank you, my man. And congrats on the big night. You had a really good night. I'm glad to hear that. But yeah, guys. Gonna be another fun slate, I think. You think Biyombo gets the start or McDaniels? They're not going to start Biyombo. With P.J. Washington back, I assume P.J. Washington starts at center. So I have no interest in Biyombo, no interest in Zeller. I'm assuming they start P.J. Washington at the 5, and then everyone else same starters. So LaMelo, Rozier, Caleb Martin, McDaniels, and then P.J. Washington. What's good, brother, from Orlando, Florida? Hey, appreciate you watching from Orlando, man. Appreciate you watching. You like Kendrick and Horde for value? I think Kendrick Williams has been out of the rotation lately for OKC. I don't even think he hasn't played their last 2 or 3 games, so I don't think I'd be going to him. Last game he played was against Phoenix on May 2nd. He didn't play last game, I don't believe. Yeah, he didn't play in their game Sacramento. He was a DMP. Horde, I don't think Horde's really someone I'm going to look to today. He's probably only going to play 15, 20 minutes if I had to guess. So, with Poku out, I would say the biggest beneficiary with Poku out is probably Isaiah Roby, just because Isaiah Roby started last game. But, yeah. Oh, Gabriel Deck. Well, yeah, Gabriel Deck's been getting 15, 20 minutes. He's been really productive, but I just don't want to roster Gabriel Deck if he's only going to play 18, 20 minutes. It's just tough to roster a guy when he's only going to get that amount of time. If he were to see more minutes, I would like him, but I have no confidence that he sees more minutes. And I said it before, this OKC team, they just run such a they run such a deep rotation. They just play so many guys every night that this is a team I really just want to stay away from right now. Like, I don't think I'm rostering any Thunder today. I found majority Charlotte players for value in my lineup. That's too much. Who else do you like for value less than 4K on DK? I mean, I think 3 Hornets is fine. I mean, it depends on what 3 you're playing, but I could definitely see playing Martin, McDaniels, and then, LaMelo in the same lineup. I don't see any reason why not. If we're looking for value under 4K besides, like, Caleb Martin, there isn't much right now. We did get word the OG and Utah are both out for Toronto, so we could maybe look to, like, a Stanley Johnson or DeAndre Bembry. I'm not a big fan of either one just because they're not really, they're not very productive when they're on the floor, but I guess you could go there. Depending on who starts at center for Dallas, whether it's Powell or Willie Cauley-Stein, you could look to them for value. We've seen whenever these guys make spot starts, like the minutes are just inconsistent, but Powell's been playing really well lately. If he does get the minutes, he should be able to pay off his super cheap price. 3,500 on DK, I think Powell's a decent option for value. Sekou, again, this is another guy that we've seen, like, the production's going to be inconsistent, but he's been getting the minutes. He's cheap. You could go there as well. So those are a couple guys, I guess, I would look to. Am I confident in really any of them? No, but I think, like, the minutes are going to be there for a guy like Sekou, which makes me probably the most confident in him. Should we fade teams that aren't playing for nothing? I mean, I wouldn't say that, Danny. Like, I mean, Detroit's playing for nothing, but there's guys I like on Detroit, so no, I wouldn't say that. Teams that are playing for nothing and they're fully healthy, yeah, that's like OKC right now. I mean, OKC just has, like, they're playing like 12 guys every night. Detroit, they don't have anything to play for, but they're missing a lot of guys, so they're being forced to run a pretty tight rotation. Like, I think Detroit probably will have 9 guys at the most tonight, maybe 8, depending on who's in or out. Westbrook over Curry and KD over Luka. I lean that way, yeah. I mean, Westbrook, like, at 11K, until they price up Westbrook, he's going to be my favorite stud basically every day. And once again, that's the case today. I mean, Westbrook, like, he's literally just a cheat code at this point. He's putting up 60-plus every night. He's put up at least 60 in, 5 of his last 6 games? I mean, until Draftkings prices him up, Westbrook's the guy I want to pay it for. And then KD, yeah, I do like KD as well. I would put KD probably ahead of Curry and Luka, especially given the little bit of savings you get. Draymond or Isaiah Stewart? I'd rather have Draymond there. Is this a 2-stud lineup or just Russ? I mean, I haven't built lineups yet. I would think you could probably play Russ and another stud because we do have some value. You got Caleb Martin, you got Sekou, you got Dwight Powell. Like, there's value. Some of these guys I'm not insanely confident in, but there's enough cheap options that you could play 2 studs tonight, I would think. Desmond Bane, yeah, Desmond Bane's another one. Forgot to mention him. With Grayson Allen already ruled out, I think Desmond Bane going to start. We've seen Desmond Bane be pretty inconsistent when he makes starts, but he's super cheap. The minutes should be there. He's another guy you could look to. What was your lineup last night? On DK, I can read it off real quick. Scored 381 on DK, which was enough to cash in basically everything except the $100 single entry. But let's see. And I'll read your super chat in a second, Chris. But my DK lineup was, pulling it up real quick, it was Westbrook, DeLon Wright, Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, Robert Williams, TJ McConnell, KJ Martin, and Mo Bamba. That was my DK lineup. And then on Yahoo was where I had a really good night. I profited like over $1,100 on Yahoo. But on Yahoo, my lineup scored 418.3, Westbrook, Hampton, RJ Hampton, DeLon Wright, Terrence Davis, Sabonis, Kelly Olynyk, Mo Bamba, KJ Martin. That was my Yahoo lineup. Relatively good night on both sides. Not as good on DK, but still was able to at least break even. If I would have been able to cash in the $100 single entry, though, I would have had a pretty good night. Oh, I want to read this donation from Chris. Chris, my man, $4.99 super chat, scored 422.4 in the Yahoo $3 contest, came in third. Thanks, Noah. Let's get this money tonight, fellas. Hey, good job, Chris. Good job, my man. I was right there behind you then. If I was in that contest, I don't know. But my lineup had 418, so I was right there behind you. But nice job, man. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. PJ or John Collins? I think I'd rather go with PJ Washington. If I had to choose between one of those two, Gabriel, I think I'd rather have PJ Washington over John Collins. Like, I don't know. John Collins is just not a guy that I've really even been considering lately. I don't even know what he's been doing because I haven't been playing him. I mean, yeah, like John Collins has just been so inconsistent this year. He's just a tough guy to roster. I'd rather have PJ Washington. Robert Williams did me dirty last night. Thought he would have done better. Yeah, that was another one. I mean, he played he was on pace to play normal minutes. Like, he was on pace to play, around 30 minutes, but the game blew out. He didn't play at all in the fourth quarter. If he would have played in the fourth quarter, like if he would have got his normal 6 to 8 minutes in the fourth quarter, he probably would have got there. So the blowout was really what killed Robert Williams last night. LaMelo or Van Vliet? I'd rather have LaMelo, I think, between those two. I still think LaMelo's a little bit too cheap on DraftKings. He was way too cheap last slate at 7,100. Even at 7,900, I still like LaMelo quite a bit. Thoughts on Siakam versus the Wizards? I mean, yeah, it's a good matchup for these guys like, Lowry, Van Vliet, Siakam. It's a good matchup against Washington. I've said it before, though, when all three of those guys are healthy, it's tough to predict which one's going to have the big game. It seems like it's just so random at this point. Which one of the big three is going to put up a big game. Could you go to Siakam today? You absolutely could. He's definitely viable. But I think on this slate, I'd rather get up to KD. I'd rather save salary, I think, and play Draymond. We got Jalen McDaniels, who I like a lot at power forward. He's cheap. I don't think I'm going to play Siakam today. Would I be surprised if he has a good game? I wouldn't be surprised, but me personally, I don't think I'm going there. LaMelo or Draymond? I think I'd lean LaMelo there over Draymond. I would say Draymond's my favorite guy from the Warriors. It pretty much always is. I don't really play Steph that often. I haven't played Steph much at all this year. I don't think I'm going to play Steph today because I'd rather play Westbrook. I'd rather play Durant. So yeah, I'd say Draymond's my favorite Warrior. But between those two, Moody, I'd rather have LaMelo. Well, there we go. Kyle Lowry has now been ruled out. That's not surprising. Okay. Well, now we got to talk about these Raptors because they look a lot better now. Is this going to update? Let's make sure nobody else is out. Kyle Lowry out. Kyle Lowry's also not playing tonight for the Raptors. He's been rested. Last chance. Okay. So, with Kyle Lowry out now, Van Vliet looks a lot better. Siakam looks a lot better. I changed my thoughts now. I do like both Siakam and Van Vliet quite a bit. Now, neither of them are like insanely cheap. I will say that. It's not like Siakam's like 7K or something, but they both look like really good plays now. But choosing between LaMelo or Van Vliet, that's super close for me. Like, I might give the edge to Van Vliet now, but man, it's super close between those two. Obviously, Siakam and Van Vliet are the two guys that benefit the most. I don't know if it really benefits Kim Birch that much, but he's viable at least. Malachi Flynn would be the other guy we could look to. 4,300. He probably starts, plays anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes. We've had this situation before where Malachi Flynn starts and like he doesn't do anything. But I definitely like him a little bit more now. He's really cheap, and the minutes are going to be there. It's a good matchup. I would say my three favorite Raptors are definitely Siakam, Van Vliet, and Malachi Flynn. I'm probably just going to stick to Siakam and Van Vliet, though. I don't know if I'm going to get to Malachi Flynn on this slate because I would rather play Caleb Martin over Malachi Flynn if I had to choose between those two. But yeah, these Raptors look a lot more appealing now. So much for that. I mean, I don't know. It feels like at this point the Raptors are just going to rest somebody almost every day. So I don't even know if the big three from the Raptors, if they're going to play a single game, all three of them this season. Like it seems like one of them's going to get rested at this point, just every day or every game. Gary Trent's out, I think. Or I'm pretty sure Gary Trent's out. Or is he questionable? Oh, he's probable. Okay, well I thought Gary Trent was out. Okay, this changes things then. Well, I mean, Gary Trent hasn't played in about 2 weeks. He's only 5K, though. It's a good matchup. If he's not on a minutes limit and he's starting, I think Gary Trent's actually viable, too. I skipped over him. I thought he was, like, doubtful. But with Gary Trent probable, I think Trent's viable now, for sure. So, Siakam, Van Vliet, Trent. I mean, basically all the starters. I'm assuming they start Van Vliet, Flynn, Trent, Siakam, Birch. I'm assuming that's the starting lineup. Which, yeah, if that's the case, then that probably takes me off of, like, DeAndre Bembry and Stanley Johnson. Yeah, if Trent's back, I don't want to go to those guys. So really, it's just the starters for me. I don't think I'm playing anyone off the bench from Toronto. And my two favorites are the top two, Siakam and Van Vliet. Are the Raptors in the playoff race? I'm pretty sure they're like 4 games behind the Wizards or something. So I don't think they have a chance. I mean, clearly they're not trying to make the playoffs. They're resting guys every day, so they know they're pretty much not going to make it. Dumoya, yeah, we talked about Sekou earlier. The minutes should be there. The production's always inconsistent with a low usage guy like Sekou, but he's cheap. The minutes should be there. I'm fine with him as a value play. Van Vliet and Isaiah Stewart or LaMelo and PJ. Well, that's super close, Gabriel. I think I would take LaMelo and PJ Washington there, but man, that's super close. Do you have that sign on the wall because you Do you have that sign on the wall because you forgot what room you're in? What the hell are you talking about? Oh, the kitchen sign? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where my kitchen is, so I have to put that sign up there. Rank these studs. KD, Westbrook, Luka. Probably Westbrook number 1, KD 2, and then Luka 3. Baller, Van Vliet. Yeah, I mean, it's super close now. I think I still give the edge to LaMelo, but man, it's super close. I mean, Van Vliet obviously looks a lot better now that Kyle Lowry's out. I'm pretty sure last game Lowry was out. Van Vliet, smashed. It was against the Clippers. He played 41 minutes, had 57 DK points. Man, God, it's super close. I want to say Van Vliet just because he's probably going to play more minutes. That's the one knock on LaMelo. LaMelo's not getting massive minutes right now. They've been kind of easing him in. He only played 31 minutes last game, so maybe, oh God, I don't know. I think that's going to be the biggest question mark of the slate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play both. I haven't built my lineup yet, but I might try and play both Van Vliet and LaMelo because I like both a lot now. Should we be concerned with the Raptors taking it easy on their stars? I mean, last game it was a close game, and Van Vliet played 41 minutes, so I'm assuming whoever plays is going to get their normal minutes. I think the Raptors, if it's a close game, the starters are going to be out there. They're not going to just, run the scrubs out there in a close game. But it's clear that they, are going to rest some guys. But when Van Vliet's playing, I think he gets his full minutes. When Siakam's playing, I think he gets his full minutes. It's just, these guys are going to get a lot of off days, rested basically till the season's over with. I wouldn't be surprised if Van Vliet rests in their next game. He probably will, if I had to guess. Jahlil Okafor or Cauley Stein? If Cauley Stein starts, I'd rather play him. But if Dwight Powell starts, I'd want Dwight Powell over those three guys, or over those two guys. McDaniels a good play? Yeah, I like Jalen McDaniels. I still think he's a little bit too cheap. Melton? I don't think I'm going to go to Melton on this slate, DD. I think I would just rather play Desmond Bane. There's other values I think I'm going to prefer over DeAnthony Melton. PJ or Bay straight up? I think I'd lean Sadiq Bey there, Kushlash, but man, that's super close as well. I think I'd lean Sadiq Bey, though. Which center has the best 6x potential on FanDuel? I mean, I haven't looked at FanDuel pricing, so I can't really tell you. So I don't know. LaMelo over Rozier? Yeah, I'd lean that way. I'd rather have LaMelo. Tim Hardaway viable for cash? Probably not. I don't think I would be playing Tim Hardaway in cash on this slate. I would think you would want to play Jalen McDaniels over Tim Hardaway in cash games. I feel like the ownership on McDaniels is going to be higher. So, yeah, I'd probably play McDaniels over Tim Hardaway. I think Tim Hardaway's in play for tournaments, but I don't think I'd be going to him in cash on this slate. Siakam or Van Vliet? I lean Van Vliet between the two. I think both are good options now that Lowry's out, but I lean Van Vliet over Siakam. Thoughts on Kawhi and PG, also Trae Young over Beal? I mean, Kawhi and PG, I don't think I'm going to play either one today. If I'm playing one lineup, I don't think I'm going to get to either one of those guys. You can have them in your player pool if you're playing multiple lineups, but there's too many other guys I'd rather pay up for today over Kawhi and PG. Van Vliet I like a lot now. I like Siakam. I like LaMelo. I like Russ at the top. I like Kevin Durant. I just don't think I'm playing Kawhi or PG today. And then Trae Young over Beal. I'd probably lean Beal over Trae Young if I had to pick between those two. Bertans a good play with Hachimura out. Yeah, he's another value guy. He kind of feels similar to Sekou in that, he's going to get probably 30 minutes. You never know what you're going to get from Bertans, especially because he's super scoring dependent, but he's cheap. He's probably going to play 25 to 30 minutes. Bertans, Sekou, I think both are decent values. Bertans if starting or DeMoya. Well, last game Bertans came off the bench. They started Anthony Gill. So I'm assuming they start Anthony Gill again. I think I'd rather have Sekou over Bertans, but it's close for sure. But I would lean Sekou, I think. Especially because Detroit's just a lot thinner. I mean, they don't have nearly as many bodies as Washington does right now. Gallinari or Herter on Yahoo. I don't think I'd be playing either one, Danny. I guess if you made me pick, it'd probably be Gallo, but I don't want to play either one today. How you feel about Bane with Allen out? Yeah, I think Bane's another, value play that's going to get probably 25-ish minutes. He's not, you never know what you're going to get from Desmond Bane. We've seen him make spot starts before and, not really do much, but he should get 25 to 30 minutes. He's cheap. Sekou, Bane, Bertans, these are guys I think, make sense as value options. Am I insanely confident in any of them? Not really, but they're viable at least. But I would rather play like Caleb Martin over all those guys. I think Caleb Martin's minutes are just way more secure. Charlotte runs a tighter rotation, so I'd rather have Caleb Martin, over some of those guys we mentioned. What about Brandon Clark on Yahoo or Jordan at center? I mean, on this slate, Chris, I don't think I'd be playing either one of those guys. Even though DeAndre Jordan started last game, he only played like 16 minutes. I'd rather play Dwight Powell over DeAndre Jordan, I think. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to either one of them. I see your question about Caleb Martin, Colin. I mean, we've already talked about Caleb Martin a good amount. He's one of my favorite values, I think. He's going to start, probably play around 35 minutes. Charlotte runs a tight rotation. I expect the minutes to be there. He should be productive enough to where he can pay off 3,900. Is he going to put up 32 fantasy points again? I don't know, but I think he can easily give us 25, 26 DK points, which is pretty good for 3,900. So yeah, like I said, Caleb Martin, right now one of my favorite values. And on Draftkings, you can play him as shooting guard and small forward, which I think makes him a lot more appealing. See if I missed any questions. Are you talking about the sign? I'm pretty sure my mom actually bought me that. When I moved into my apartment, we just went and found a bunch of stuff, and she was like, "You should get this." So I was like, "Whatever." Really, I just hang my keys on it and stuff. So I don't know why I don't know if that dude was trying to be funny or what, but stupid. What about Malik Monk? I mean, yeah, Malik Monk's after last game, Malik Monk's definitely risky after what happened last game. He only played 17 minutes. He didn't do much at all. He shot terribly. But we know Malik Monk can put up a big game any night, and there's going to be more minutes available for him, with Devontae Graham doubtful. So Monk's another value play that I'm not insanely confident in, but the upside's there, I would say, and the opportunity at least should be there. You just got to hope that he actually makes some shots today, whereas last game, he couldn't make a shot to save his life. What centers you like? Let's see. I mean, if I'm paying up, Sabonis, I don't think I'm going to get to Sabonis on this slate unless Brogdon's out again. But honestly, I think I'd rather play Kevin Durant over Sabonis. So really, I'm kind of looking to Draymond. I like Draymond in the mid-range. I think Isaiah Stewart is still a decent option. I don't mind P.J. Washington. But I think there's some decent, Dwight Powell, I think is probably my favorite center, especially if he starts. 3,500. Without Maxi Kleber, without Kristaps Porzingis, we probably get 25, 30 minutes from Dwight Powell. Matchup's good against Brooklyn. So I'd say he probably might be my favorite center when you factor in price. They might start Willie Cauley-Stein again. If they do start Willie Cauley-Stein again, you could play him. But we saw Powell, be the guy that they prefer. Powell got the minutes over WCS. So I think I would honestly lean Powell even if he doesn't start. I think you covered this before, but with Lowry out, LaMelo or Van Vliet, yeah, Mark, it's super close. I think I'll lean Van Vliet just because I think he's going to play more minutes, but man, it's super close. Honestly, there's a good chance I play both of them. I like LaMelo and Van Vliet a lot now. I already liked LaMelo to begin with, and Van Vliet, obviously, now that Lowry's out, I like quite a bit. Birch or Siakam, opportunity cost. There's some, you have some other forwards I like. You got Jalen McDaniels. So honestly, I'd probably place Birch there, given the savings. Just because I don't think center's as deep as forward is. What up, Noah? What players from OKC are you looking at? They have a great cheap value. I'm not looking to any OKC guys. Gabriel Deck's been productive, but he's only playing 15, 20 minutes. If he goes out there and puts up 25 DK points in 20 minutes, then, whatever. But I don't think I'm playing any Thunder today. I've said it before. They just run such a deep rotation. They play so many guys every night. They spread out the minutes. It's just a tough team to, really want to roster a ton of guys from right now. Now with Raptors news, do you go mid-tier instead of top prices? I still think I'm going to want to try and fit Westbrook in on DraftKings just because I think Westbrook's way too cheap on DK. But then I think you kind of go Westbrook, at least right now, I'd say Westbrook and then, mid-range from after that. I don't know if I'm going to be paying up for multiple studs. I think just getting Westbrook in and then going to those mid-range guys like Van Vliet, like LaMelo, and then kind of fitting in your value plays. Caleb Martin, Jalen McDaniels, Dwight Powell, those guys. Zach LaVine playing tonight? I'm pretty sure he's expected to. So, yeah, with Zach LaVine playing, I really don't want to play any Bulls today. I think Vooch on Yahoo is okay because he's affordable there, but I'm probably not playing any Bulls with LaVine back. Best center power forward combo on Yahoo besides PJ Washington and Bane or Powell and Sadiq Bey. So PJ Washington, Bane, or Powell, Sadiq Bey. I think I would lean Powell and Sadiq Bey there, Steve, but that's pretty close. Thoughts on Looney? I mean, Looney's just not a guy I have much interest in. I'd rather play Dwight Powell over Looney. I'd rather play like Sekou over Looney, I think. You like Gafford on Yahoo? I mean, Gafford, like, God, if he were to get the minutes, he'd be someone I'd have interest in, but you just never know how many minutes Gafford's going to play. Like last game, he didn't play much at all. He was really productive. He's been super productive with the Wizards this season, but the minutes have just been so up and down. Like last night, he only played 14. So it's tough to roster him until we see him consistently getting like 25 minutes a night. I just can't go there. Like he could play 25 minutes a night, he could play 15 minutes, he could play 10. It's just it's a super wide range of outcomes with Daniel Gafford, so I don't think I'm going to go there on this slate. Ja Morant versus LaMelo. I'd rather have LaMelo, I think, over Ja. Curry versus Irving. I mean, between those two, I think I would lean Kyrie over Steph, but it's close between the two. But like I said earlier, Westbrook's my favorite stud. I'd rather have KD over Curry and Irving. So it's Westbrook number one for me, then KD. If I can play those two guys together, I want to, but there's a lot of guys in the mid-range that look good now. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to play Westbrook and KD together with some of those mid-range guys that we've talked about. What about Van Vliet? Yeah, we've already talked about Van Vliet enough. I mean, without Lowry, now that Lowry's out, I like Van Vliet quite a bit. Good luck tonight, Noah and fam. Hey, good luck to you as well, T-Money. Good luck to you as well. Last man in, PJ or Bey. I think I would lean Sadiq Bey there, Mark, but it is super close, in my opinion. I think Sadiq Bey plays more minutes, so that's probably why I would prefer him. And Detroit, I mean, Charlotte already runs a tight rotation, but Detroit is super thin, so I'd probably give the edge to Bey. Thoughts on Melton, Bane, Anderson tonight against Detroit? I mean, I think they're viable. Like, Desmond Bane and Anderson are my two favorites of those three. Like, I don't think I'm going to play Melton tonight. Would I be playing all three of those guys in one lineup? I probably would not. But, you know, could you sprinkle in some Desmond Bane exposure? Could you sprinkle in some Anderson exposure? I'm fine with that, but I don't think I'd be playing like all three of those guys in one lineup. That just feels like a bad decision. Too many other teams, you know, there's so many teams shorthanded that are, you know, running tight rotation right now that, you know, it's tough to roster like three Grizzlies today when, you know, the Grizzlies are a team that, you know, runs a pretty deep rotation every night, basically. Lee, Martin, Luka, Sekou, Cauley-Stein, Westbrook, Bey, Van Vliet. Talking about Saben Lee. I mean, Saben Lee I'm not that high on, especially like if Corey Joseph and Killian Hayes both play, I don't have any interest in Saben Lee, but I think the rest is okay. Moody, I think the rest looks good. Any last minute questions you guys got? Be sure to throw them in chat. We're going to be live for just a few more minutes, and we'll wrap things up here shortly. But as always, guys, appreciate you tuning in. If you have not yet, be sure to hit that like button. And thanks as always for, you know, tuning in, for answering questions, or for asking questions. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I know Killian Hayes is questionable. I would assume that I would be very surprised if Killian Hayes and Joseph both sit. I doubt that happens. So my best guess is Killian Hayes plays and Joseph doesn't, or Killian Hayes gets ruled out and then Joseph plays. By some chance, though, they're both out, yeah, then Saben Lee becomes a great value play. But I would be very surprised if both those guys sit. Who do you think would win, Jason Tatum or Kevin Durant? Just playing against each other, I'd take KD. I mean, KD probably, like, one-on-one. I mean, there's no player that's more unguardable one-on-one than Kevin Durant. Gafford could get run with Rui and Hutchinson out. I mean, not really. I mean, Gafford's just strictly a center, so Gafford really benefits if Alex Lynn's out or, you know, Robin Lopez is out, but both those guys are playing tonight. I don't think Gafford really benefits with those guys out because they play different positions. No, my guy popped in for a second. Good luck. Get it? Hey, appreciate that, Trap. Appreciate you hanging or tuning in. And good luck to you as well. Best cheap center today? I think I lean Dwight Powell. If I'm going cheap at center, I think he's the guy I would look to. What are your thoughts on LaMelo? I mean, I like LaMelo a decent amount tonight. You don't have to spam the question, though. Jesus Christ. I'll have to ban this dude. We think about Dylan Brooks versus Detroit. You know, again, like, I don't want to be playing a ton of Detroit guys today, or a ton of Memphis guys today, just because Memphis is not a team I have a ton of interest in. Brooks is viable, but me personally, I don't think I'm playing Dylan Brooks. Like, I'd rather play rather play Jalen McDaniels. I'd rather play Sadiq Bey. There's other small forwards I prefer. You can play Caleb Martin as small forward. Caruso, yeah, I mean, Caruso's another value play that's viable. Caruso was a really good value last slate when he was minimum salary. Now that he's 4,100 on DK, it's a little bit tougher to go there, but still viable at least. I mean, especially if like Taylor Horton-Tucker doesn't play, that makes Caruso a little bit better, I think. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. We've been live for, about 30 minutes or so. As always, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Best of luck tonight. Should be back again Friday with the stream for Friday, so I will see you guys in Friday's stream. I'll have a video up for Friday's slate as well, obviously. But good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. All right? Good luck, fellas. Good luck tonight.